Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome back to Intuitive Insights. Let's see who's coming towards you. Hell, at this point, I need to say what's coming towards you because Scorpio wasn't even paying attention to nobody but themselves. Yeah. Leo walking away from a relationship too, minding their damn business. But we gonna see what's going on with you, Sag. We have the Hierophant. So you could be dealing with a Taurus or a very serious relationship. The influence of this is the Eight of Cups. Okay, so you ain't about them games no more, huh, Sag? Bottom of the deck, we do see the Chariot. So strong emotions. You feeling emotional. All right, the Hierophant, we're going to clarify. Here, you could be walking away from traditional ways and living your life the way that you want to live it. We have the Four of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. Okay, I like that. Sowing seeds for something to grow. Something that's beneficial for you in the long run. So, Sagittarius, I want to say that marriage is for you. That's what's coming towards you. So if you're dating somebody and you really love them, I feel like you got marriage on the brain. You could be dealing with a Taurus. You could be dealing with someone that's very traditional, someone that's very old school. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that isn't a compliment, but someone that's, used to things being a certain way. Like this isn't someone that just wants to play the field or anything. And you realize that all these other situations or other things that you were entertaining doesn't fulfill you anymore. You got your person. That's the energy it's giving me. The influence of this, Five of Cups. Okay, you could have fucked up. All right? No, you could have messed up and realized that you risked having this forever with your Taurus. If it's not a Taurus, then it could be, like I said, somebody that is very well mature, very well put in this world. This is someone that probably doesn't even have like a lot of friends. They kind of beat to their own drum and hesitant to change their ways. All right, but what caused this is the Five of Cups. You have Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I'm going to clarify this Five of Cups for you, okay? You stung. You got Queen of Pentacles, Judgment, and the King of Swords. Okay. Bottom of the deck is Queen of Cups. All right. So here, hands down, it's definitely a relationship. I think you and your person have parted ways. I do see that, but you're trying to move forward from the negative energy, the spilled milk, the spoiled milk, I should say, and you're trying to change this. You want the opportunity to really voice your side of the situation, and you want it to be largely in your favor. So do I think you're being a silver tongue? Yes, I do. But are you being honest? Yes, you are. All right. Advice here, King of Pentacles. Highlight in this situation, in this conversation that you're going to have with your person, highlight the future with them. If you are dealing with the earth signs definitely love to hear about the future. What can you guarantee? Will you be with me in the long run? Are we building this? King of Pentacles is also Taurus energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. And just with that being in your advice card, you want to make sure you dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and you're coming to them straightforward. Everything makes sense. And you're willing to put that work in. Also, I'm not saying you got to get on your knees and beg, but it won't hurt. I wasn't. Okay. Now the point here is when you're talking to this said individual, you need to be genuine, authentic, and true, and don't play no games. Don't lie. It's the outcome if you take that advice. Eight of Swords. Okay, so there's still no certainty there. Let's see. Eight of Swords. I think it's still going to eat you up inside. A lot of people don't talk about this, But it is true. When someone portrays someone that they really love, it haunts them for life. They have to live with knowing that they did that to you. And this is going to cause you, because you have two eights here. And eights are all about, eight is about power, but it's also about movement. It's also about growth, okay? Attainment, all right? So the point here, this is, and it's also like the infinity sign. It's upright. Infinity is the sideways, right? Oh, forgive me. Oh, forgive me. Your person could be tired of your bullshit. You could be doing this left and right. For real, you could like, I'm not gonna do this, and you turn around and you get caught up again. But understand that when someone does someone else wrong and they know they shouldn't have did that person wrong, they have to carry that burden for the rest of their life, knowing that they did that. There's a reason why forgiveness is so important. And if you can learn to forgive and move forward and understand that it really wasn't about you when a person did you wrong, it is about them, you will be so much happier. Remember in the story, if you're not familiar, there's two brothers in the Bible, Esau and Jacob. Long story short, Jacob ends up stealing from Esau. He steals his blessing. I mean, he did give it up for a bowl of soup. But the point is, he got slated by his own brother. And Jacob lived with that for the rest of his life. And what he really wanted was to right his wrong. He yearned for the connection with his brother and his brother's forgiveness. Esau did move on and live his own life. I highlight that to say this: when somebody does you wrong, even if they don't talk about it and address it, what does stand out is the fact that they know they did wrong and they want to make it right. I love referring to The Last Dance. That is the Bulls documentary. And in that, they did these interviews separate between Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman. And they both recapped the situation where Michael Jordan really needed Dennis Rodman because Scottie Pippen was on his I need to get mine thing. He wasn't thinking about the team. Scottie was on his own realm of thinking about Scottie. So Mike really needed Dennis. And Dennis got so many fouls in this game acting a fool that Mike had to carry the game himself. Here's the thing. They won that night. They didn't lose, if memory serves me right. It's been a minute since I watched. I watched it as soon as it came out. So, anywho, but what was nice was Dennis Rodman felt really bad because he got kicked out of the game. And he realized he had did wrong. So what he did was he went to Jordan's hotel room. And they both recapped the story. Different times. And Jordan, when Dennis went to the room, he went and he asked Mike for a cigar. And he said Mike gave him the cigar. Now, when Mike recaps the story, he says he never comes to my room, but this night he did. He never came to my room. And he said, I took that as his way of apologizing to me. And till this day, well, when he did that, when Dennis recapped it, he said, I hope that in that moment he was fidgeting, while he was talking about it. He was saying, I hope that in that moment that Mike knew that that was my way of apologizing to him because, I know I fucked up that night. I am sorry. I love that story because it wasn't the typical, I did wrong, I should have did this, a whole recap. It was just a small exchange where two people understood the energy in that one exchange. They didn't talk about how Mike let him in a room and gave him a cigar. As far as I'm concerned, Mike probably left his ass at the door and went and got the cigar and gave it to him. It was a calm exchange. And to this day, Dennis knows he fucked up. And he still feels bad that he left Mike hanging because Mike needed him. And in reality, Dennis always wanted someone to need him. But he was in his own mode. He forgot the team mattered. And that's what it was all about. They all come together for that one passion. In this case, you come together for this relationship. But sometimes people fuck up. like genuinely fuck up, you know, and it hurts because the one that's giving their all, two people are giving their all. Generally, I mean, you get those relationships where people aren't, and a lot of people are fucked up. There's a lot of dysfunction. Love is tricky. We all love different. But the point is, when you're in a situation with someone and that person feels betrayed, you know, that hurts. And what even hurts more is when you walk away from the situation when you don't want to. And it's because you feel like you left me hanging. You know, you did me wrong. To later on, years, weeks, hours, months, whatever it is, your time frame, for you to realize it was never about me. It was about them. And then the person that did that is the one that have to live with knowing, damn, I caused them a scar on their heart because I fucked up. When in reality, we can apologize for those acts, but if it hadn't been for that moment with that particular person, we wouldn't rebuild ourselves. You see what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard because in the end, you're still going to be beating yourself up about this. You're still going to be playing this in your head and you're still going to feel unworthy. That's the energy that I get from this. But what you have to understand is that God teaches us, whether you believe in God or the creator, I believe in God, all right? Whatever you believe in, the platform is set up, this board game is set up differently, and we're all made uniquely. And in order to teach us certain lessons, so we sit down and actually fucking listen, it's in ways that hit really hard. The lesson hits hard because it needs to have that impactful sting to change you. In order for you to be rebuilt or grow into the person you're supposed to be in, you must go through a challenging phase. A butterfly is suffocated in a fucking cocoon until it turns into a butterfly. A dragonfly is stuck in a larva state. Really, the fence is down. All he can whip out is his damn tongue to eat until he transforms. Fucking turtles are put in the fucking sand as babies have to hatch out by themselves and make their way to the sea and survive. Like it's shitty. The things that we go through, you get mad and relationships do get ruined because we are all human. Cause and effect, you know. A lot of people can't take a form of betrayal or an act of hate or something like that and just dust it off. No, you got to go through those emotions like fuck you and, you know, the tit for tat that you go through, the anger, the cut off and all of that to rebuild. So don't beat yourself up about it. It's easier said than done, but please, I hope that my is helping you come to the forefront and realize you made those fucked up decisions because you needed to grow. And you can always, like, you're going to this person, desiring this person and wanting a connection with this person. You know, it's given, I mean, even with that 3 of Pentacles there, with the 4 of Pentacles, even if that person's like really reserved and solid in a stability, it's given like you'd like a friendship, you like to mend it, all right? Move forward from this hazy part in your life. So I wish you the best. I hope I helped you with this. Bottom of the decks, you got Queen of Cups and you also have the Chariot. Both of these cards, I mean, this is a water card, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. The Queen is Pisces, and then you have here, you got the Chariot, that's Cancer energy. So, you know, damn. And then the bottom of this, you got Knight of Wands, Page of Wands. What's under there? Death, the Hangman. Look at that. Look, 2 different decks, bruh. 2 different decks. And they all of a sudden, look. Woosah. And carry on. All right? All right. I hope this video helped you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.